buildings around Norfolk. But he's not a very good wool breed. He's not a good meat breed. Actually, nowadays, he's absolutely good for nothing. Sadly, that's why they're just about extinct. There's only 800 left of this breed. But you can see why they're coming extinct. There's other breeds coming on stage. They do a much better job. I'm going to introduce you to Susie. Now you guys are going to love Susie. She's adorable. She stands about so high. She's about so long, and she's about that wide too. You want to pick her up, give her a cuddle and take her home. Don't worry, in New Zealand we put them back in the fields. I won't tell you what the Australians do to them. But please, welcome on stage, Susie, the Self-Sound! Isn't she beautiful? Isn't she adorable? But let's find out about Susie. You have roughly 68 breeds in the UK. This is one of the finest wool breeds you have in the UK. Not the finest wool breed that is a merino, it is the best you can get. But this is one of the finest ones you have in the UK. But where I think this beautiful animal stands out is she has some of the sweetest tasting meat on a barbecue. Look at the size of it. You can actually put the whole animal on, you shut the lid. Half an hour later, it is mouthing off her. Why is she so nice to eat? It's all that fat gives that meat flavour. She is a good dual-purpose breed. She is a good wool breed and a very good meat breed. But 250 years ago, the farmers, they wanted a bigger, meatier breed. So they decided to put Nobby and Susie on their first date. They didn't need a second date, something happened on the first date. 5 months, 5 days later, you guys made the #1 meat breed in the world. Please welcome on stage, Sam, the Suffolk, the #1 in the world. Poor Rudy, leave it alone. They always pick it on. Let's put a song though. You imagine that on your first date? Right, never needed a second. But look at this breed of sheep. You can see why he's #1. He is longer, he is deeper, and he is wider. Why he's also #1 breed in the world for his meat? He has some of the fastest maturing lambs. You know those cute little fluffy things that bounce around the field? Well, his lambs will get to the marketplace or the barbecue faster than any other lamb. Is that not lucky? Sorry, on mistake, what it was. There's a black head, black legs, there's a little white fleece. We do use the wool, but he wasn't bred for his meat. Now I'm going to come on to another beautiful lady. So I know a few of you gentlemen have got some beers in your hand right now. Just look at this lady when she walks out, you'll just go, wow! You ladies, you just be going, oh, this lady eats all day long, as much as she wants and as often as she wants. But look at her legs. Please welcome on stage, Belinda, the blue face Lester. Come on, sweetie. Oh yeah, she's got legs absolutely outstanding, like a lamb. Beautiful. But it is an outstanding breed of sheep. It is a very good wool breed, a very lustrous wool, which means it holds the colours, makes the colours stand out really bright. Look at the length of her, good sized meat breed. But why she's an outstanding breed of sheep, most other breeds of sheep can produce 1 to 2 lambs, she can produce 3. So you have to have a fair bit of milk to feed that many lambs. Now I'm going to come on to one of the toughest and hardest breeds I've ever had to deal with. Comes from Scotland. Please introduce you to Dougal, the Scottish Blackfox. Come on, Dougal! Now this is one of the toughest and hardest breeds of sheep I've ever had to deal with. He comes from Scotland. Why he's so tough and hard to deal with is where he comes from. Up in Scotland, up in those highlands, where it snows, it blows, it rains. Firstly, they needed an animal to survive there. Most of these breeds would not survive where he could, but also produce products. They produce a huge amount of wool. They do produce lambs late maturing, but they'll still get to the marketplace. But they do have a problem. I don't mind this problem. He likes ladies with long hair.
Come here.
Belinda lives over the border of Scotland. He saw her and fell in love. She just ran. There was a 10-mile chase. Belinda tied. Dougal did not. And what happened when this breed hit that breed there? As they made the #1 breed in the UK by numbers. She's new to my show. Please welcome on stage, Martha. Oh, get the music. Martha, the mule! Sorry, the music will just slow me laugh. Pretty woman. I know, you missed the music, I'm sorry. Well, what are you doing up there with Belinda? You know, you can here on your own stage. Now, because of her mum, she's a good wool breed, can produce 2 to 3 kilograms of wool. Can produce 2 good lambs. From her dad, though, got the harness. She will protect her babies. But why is the #1 breed of sheep in the UK? It's also from a dad. The hardness to survive in those harsh conditions in the highlands and the lowlands. That's why you'll see this breed everywhere you go in the UK. But be proud, guys, because you'll only find it in the UK. Nowhere else in the world has got this breed of sheep. Nowhere else in the world. It is only just for the UK. Now I'm going to come on to one of my favourite breeds of sheep. This is one of the giants of the sheep breed. For this breed, they are so laid back and chilled out. He reminds me a little bit of Bob Marley. So please welcome on stage, Lenny the Lincoln Longwool. Come up, Lenny. Now this breed, they are so relaxed. And I tell you why he reminds me a little bit of Bob Marley. You're going to see these guys later on at the end of my show. These guys will get up and do a little dance for you, but right at the end of my show. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get a very lucky volunteer to sit between a Kiwi's legs. I'm going to put you then in several positions, and I'll give you an all-over haircut for free today. Well, that's amazing. No one. Not one person. Lucky I knew that was going to happen in my show, and I got a volunteer early on. She's not shy at all. She's in here putting the makeup on, a lipstick and nail polish. She's going to come running out here about 20 miles an hour. That's how keen she is. But before I can open this door and let her run out, I have to give you guys a safety tour. Now you might think this is why. I don't really want to do this, but I've been told to have to do it. It's very obvious what will happen, okay? I've been told I have to do this. Now I've been to a few countries in the world, but I find here in the UK, and you adults might know this, in the UK here, your health and your safety people here, they are wound up like rubber bands. This is what will happen. I will open this door, she will come running out, I will catch her. If I don't catch her here, and she hits that grass, and I have not got a hold of her, guess what? It's not part of my show. If that's not obvious enough, this next bit will be. As it comes running towards you guys, do not panic. Do not get your children and throw it at them, okay? Hold on to your children, turn. If it gets closer, then run as fast as you can. Now that I've said that, you guys cannot sue me. Is law not beautiful? Don't worry, I haven't lost one today. Not yet. I lost one yesterday though, but we won't go into that. Excuse me, Susie. Now these are called hand shears. This is how farmers used to shear the sheep in the earlier days. Because of course, in the earlier days, I had no power. They still use these around the world today. These are more widely used than the machine. I'm afraid in our world, we've still got poorer countries that cannot afford power. But we've used these in New Zealand a lot. Believe you, we've had power in New Zealand for a long time now. But if you know New Zealand, we know we've got steep hills, it snows a lot. We use these because it leaves a little bit more wool on them. But I'm not going to show you how to use those. I'm actually not good at them. My sheep look like poodles. I'm going to use this very machine here, this very dangerous machine here, and you might think, oh, that could hurt the sheep. Well, if you want me to, I'll prove on myself that it won't hurt a sheep. Do you want to see that? Yeah. Really? That's just me. Okay, guys, I'll put it on myself just to show that it's not going to hurt a sheep. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. The tingling sensation, a little bit like a vibrating feeling. An all over massage. Let's see if my volunteer's going to love it, shall we? Okay, let's give it a shot. Now this sheep is a sheep I'm going to let out. It is a wild sheep, okay? This is a wild sheep. It is a Scottish blackface. Like I said earlier, they are one of the toughest and hardest breeds of sheep to shear. But I'm afraid at this time of the year, they are the only sheep that still have wool on them. So we've got no choice but to shear them in the shows. But I'm going to see if she's ready. Oh, your lipstick matches your eyeshadow. Beautiful. Okay, you're ready to go? Okay, on the count of 3. 1, 1, 2, 3, go. Oh, shit! The first thing you're going to do is put a handbrake on. Brilliant. You designed this thing with a handbrake. Brilliant. Now, she's got 4-wheel drive. I've only got 2. I think she's a springboks. You're a sheep. Now, I can't shear her standing up. She has to sit on the bottom. The fastest way to put a wild sheep on the bottom, believe it or not, pick it up, put them on their bottom. It's so obvious so far. But then what you do is you put them into their first position. And in this first position, the sheep should hopefully relax. Hey guys, they're a bit tense at night. I'll show you this position works every time. Whatever you want, there, I'm yours. But do you see how I'm holding the sheep, guys? I do not hold the sheep with my hands. I'm going to hold it between my legs. I'm going to shift it in several positions just by shifting my feet. Whoa, just lost my position there. Relax, relax. Get back in the first position. Here, relax. Good girl. I'm going to shift the sheep in several positions just by shifting my feet. But more importantly, I'm going to be using my knees and I'm going to be bending it. I'm bending it for one reason only. Gentlemen, it's not what you're thinking. It is to keep the skin tight. It's still not what you're thinking. I'll explain it another way, because when I'm shaving now, at my age, I've got to pull my skin tight, because if I don't, I will nick myself nowadays. And you ladies won't know what I mean, because when you're shaving your legs, do your night, get your loose skin, pull it up as tight as you can, and shave your legs. Don't imitate, by the way. But you're doing the same principle all day. You're trying to keep your skin tight so you don't nick it. But I've also got buttons on the sheep to help me out. Now there's a button on the front leg here. Watch the front leg when I push the button. Hey! I'll do that again. Hey! Gentlemen, save money on your burger. I'll show you where the button is. Because if you let go of the button, there is no point. Never let go of the button, okay? There's another button on the back leg here. Now if I push this back button, watch this. Yeah! Hey! Now I'm not playing with a sheep because I like playing with a sheep. Okay, I do. But now that I push that button, I've now locked its leg. I can now get this very dangerous machine and go down here. Because if I didn't push that button and she kicked, or I put her in the wrong position, there will be loose skin. This machine here has been designed to take off what is ever in front of it. It can even take the tops of my fingertips straight off. But that's its job. My job is trying to keep her relaxed in the right position, but it doesn't always work. Because if I get the position slightly wrong, or she thinks she can get out between my legs, you will see the fastest tap dance show you've ever seen. But there's also something else to make it very difficult for me. And you might notice on top of a sheep's head, on this one, it's got some horns. You might notice where it's sitting right now. Could you imagine if it turned the wrong way at the wrong time? I'll be talking like this in my show. Hopefully that won't happen. But before I can shear a sheep, there's one other thing I must check. If it's a boy or girl. Now I know it's a girl because I checked early on. But if it was a boy, it's right there. Especially if it's a wether. If it's a wether, the boy thing is right there. Now if I didn't check it, and I went straight down like this, it's now girl! It's alright if you want it to girl. Okay guys, I'm getting ready to shear my sheep. Now you will see this sheep tense and kick in my show. I will say that it will do it. But I'll explain why right at the end of my show, because there is a reason why she's going to do it. Hopefully she won't. But first thing we take off, guys, is the belly wool. The belly wool is not a good fibre, it is short, it's dirty, so we use it for poor quality products, such as felt, socks, insulation in houses, aeroplanes, and you might be thinking, why do we use wool for insulation? Because wool does not burn. Wool smoulders, so you got time to get out of the house, out of the aeroplane. Problems if you jump down of an aeroplane, you probably wish you put a parachute on. Hopefully you can see though, wherever my handpiece is going, guys, this other hand's always working because I must always try and pull the skin tight. I push on that button right now. This is for you ladies right now. We've got a beautiful day today. You're probably planning a holiday very soon. If you ladies think I'm doing a pretty good job of her bikini line right now, come and see me at the end of my show. £1.